Hola, mi gente, and welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, queries, statements, or otherwise, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is @SkimPod. That is SKIMPOD. That's where I like to fight. For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. That's crunchy being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and a partridge in a pear tree. And of course the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show. And a band plays on here at Skim, and to that end we provide you a Podcast, a musical discussion podcast built on a hip-hop foundation, and you know what? It's dope. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox 2099, your host, the Internet's Tayrell713, and me? Well, damn it, I'm the real ODP.
Like, a wounded pet is like some of the scariest shit.
Yeah.
Because the other day, so I let my cat in when I got home from work in the evening. He was fine. Nothing that I could see wrong with him whatsoever. I laid on the couch for a little while. I watched some TV. I got to go to bed around 11. And I had seen him prior to that. He was laying on the recliner just sleeping. I didn't hear anything. The recliner, keep in mind, was like 3 feet from where I was laying. So I never saw anything happen. Didn't hear anything. The dude who lives in my house, he had left for the evening earlier. So he wasn't around. I got up, to shut all the lights off, went to go to my bedroom, and the cat had been, somehow at some point he moved off the recliner and I didn't notice. He was laying under my dresser, and I was like, I didn't feel like bending down and trying to scoop him up to get him out of my bedroom for the night, because I don't let the cats in there when on work nights, because they tend to wake me up sometimes.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah, like they'll go and try and get in the blinds to look out the window, or like if I move in my sleep, they'll think I'm awake and they'll try and like lick my hands and shit. Yeah, so it's like, it's just problematic for me because it interrupts my sleep and then I can't fall back to sleep. So I don't let them sleep in my room. I don't even really let them sleep in there on the weekends, but sometimes they get in there and I'm just like, it's too much of a hassle to get rid of them. So this night I went in there and he was sleeping under the dresser, and I didn't feel like trying to get down on my hands and knees and fucking get him and everything. But he's usually one that'll run when he hears the rustling of the treats box. So I went in the kitchen, I pulled it out of the cabinet, I started shaking it, because I wasn't going to not give him some.
Yeah, you know? Right.
But like, so I see him get up, and he comes running from my room to the kitchen, but not like running, like he's limping. Like his one leg is just like, it's like he can't put any pressure on it. And I'm just like thinking like, oh fuck, what the hell happened? I'm like, well, it's like 11:30 at night. Even if you're fucked up, nothing I can do about it right now. So I'm like, I'll check him out in the morning and see if he's any better, and then I'll make a call from there. Because like, I don't want to fucking take him to the vet. That shit's expensive.
It is.
So I get up the next morning, and he's still limping, but it's like nowhere near as bad as it was the night before. So I'm like, all right, maybe whatever the fuck you did to yourself is like, it's healing up and you'll be okay. Yeah. So I go to work, come home that night, and I'm in my room changing because I was going to go up to the gym and play basketball. And I checked on the cat when I got home because he was outside. Like usually, like my buddy who lives in my house, he gets off work at like 4, I get off at 6, so he's like home a couple hours before I do. When he gets home, usually the cat runs out to go explore the neighborhood. That's his deal. So when I got home a couple hours later, he was outside in the driveway waiting to be let back in the house. And I looked at him, and like, he had a little bit of a limp, but like barely. You would, if you didn't know that he even hurt the day before, like you wouldn't even have noticed. So I was like, all right, you must be cool. Whatever happened, you must be okay now. So I go in, I'm changing, and like my buddy's like, oh, he's like, hey man, I just saw that he was limping real bad. I'm thinking, okay, cool. You're just telling me that you didn't fuck him up, so you're in the clear. But I'm like,
or he's covering his tracks.
That could be. That very well could be. But I feel like he would be the type, if he did fuck up, to not tell me until like a year later. Because when his girlfriend hit my house with her car, he didn't tell me for over a year. Even though I could clearly see that the aluminum siding on the backside of my house was hit because some of it's fallen off.
Does he think there's a statute of limitations on this kind of thing?
I mean, I know it's 7 years, but...
Oh, you looked it up.
I just assumed it was like credit card debt.
Oh, okay.
I knew what you was thinking. I knew what your ass was thinking. I was like, you thinking credit card debt.
Yeah. But yeah, so the cat's fine, but like I definitely had that like that thought. Like all I could see was just vet bills spiraling through my mind, going, "Fuck, man, why did I pick you from the vet the APL 5 years ago? How did I get stuck with this? Why can't you be like the other one? All she does is sleep."
Bro.
Like Callie has this like hitch in her breathing that she's had for like a couple of years now, but I'm like, fuck it. She's like 14. She's old as shit for a cat. Of course she's gonna have some flaws. Like if she's breathing and she's got like a little wheeze to her, get your wheeze on, girl. It'll all be over within the next probably 3 years.
It is kind of fucked up to get a pet, because the first thing you think is like, fuck, what's this gonna cause? Like, can this heal on its own? I think
fuck, what's it gonna cause? Even if it's me or my kids, bro. It's just where our head has to be in a capitalist.
I'm like that with everything.
In a capitalist system.
I go home every day, and I get so happy when I see the roof shingles are still attached, and the AC keeps kicking on. Because if that shit goes down, holy shit.
I'm going to support whatever candidates for socialized medicine for cats.
If you socialize medicine for us, then I can afford to socialize. Then you pretty much socialize medicine for cats, so I can afford it at that point.
No, fuck that. Because like, I have health insurance right now, and I still can't afford to take care of my cat.
That's the difference.
It's co-pays and shit.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're socialized across the board.
That's not going to put any more money in my bank account.
It literally puts more money in your bank account.
Yeah, like $40 a check.
They take out of your check.
No, it's not even that. It's like $27 a check. That's it.
But that would.
That's like, that's eating out one time.
I'll have your $27 then.
Yeah, nigga. You pass that my way. I'll take it. But yeah, my dog got bit last year by another dog, and I had to run her up the streets to the thing, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck, and blah blah blah. And they tell me, here's $90 and I need it right now. And I'm like, motherfucker. Lucky I love you and I got $90 in my pocket right now.
How many not as sensitive pet owners just said, fuck that, or like, I'll be right back, Mr. Vet, and like never came back?
My first thought was, how bad was the bite?
It was scary enough that I got up and left work. Vanessa was really truly worried that it was going to be a problem. But when it's all said and done, they cleaned it out. It's like it was just enough that the other dog drew blood, but it wasn't any kind of like she was going to limp or anything like that there. Now here we
wait, just enough where it like barely drew blood?
Drew blood at all. It broke the skin enough to draw blood.
Because like you're making it seem like this $90 wasn't well spent.
No, I mean it's my dog. You know I love her. She cool. But
I mean that's like blow some air on it, and let the wind heal it.
But I don't know that until I go take it to a vet so they can get a good look and X-ray and everything and say, oh yeah, we good. I don't know that. She a fuzzy ass little, and she got black fur and so on and so on.
See,
all
animals can't talk. If I got bit by a dog, I can say, "No, I'm fine. Let's just wrap it up."
I think you just judge based on how much blood's in the fur. If there's barely any blood there, you're good to go.
I don't know what barely blood is in an animal situation versus a human situation. Any blood is too much blood for my dog who, like you just said, can't talk.
I mean, it's a tiny dog.
Yeah.
How much blood do you have to lose before it passes out? Get a nosebleed to pass out.
Have you seen that dog? That dog is jacked.
And then
that dog will fight against passing out.
Well, that's the thing.
We just be doing push-ups on it.
We pushed forward a year, and Vanessa took her for a walk. And some dog immediately runs up on Vanessa. Vanessa now had this experience where the dog got bitten. Immediately scoops the dog up and tries to keep the dog safe from the other dog. The other dog comes up on Vanessa, and my dog, Buck Wiles, bites that dog on the beak and makes that dog draw blood. It goes the other way. It goes back around.
Wait, same dog?
Different dog, and a big dog at that. That even when Vanessa's holding her up in the air, she got close enough to my dog. You're like, you better get the fuck away from me.
You let all those other dogs know. I ain't taking any shit no more.
It's kind of what it was.
See, that's kind of how it happens, man. I remember getting picked on in first grade, and I just took that shit until there was just one day I was like, fuck it, I'm not taking this anymore.
There's no warning and a warning.
Y'all, you had some freebies, but now you gonna pay. I've come to collect.
Yeah. So, we love our pets, and it goes down.
I mean, that dog was limping for a while, too, like, holding the leg up. It's the saddest thing, holding the back leg up and, like, kind of just coasting around on the other three legs, and like, come on, get better.
The thing about it is, like, I do love that cat, but he has caused me so much grief and just irritation that, like, if someone were to come to me and be like, "Oh, I'll take him off your hands," I'd be like, "Okay." I mean, every time family comes over and is like talking about him, like, you can have him. Shit, I tried to give him away to a woman on Bumble last week. And, like, we had like an eagle in the neighborhood like a year ago, and there was a part of me that just thought it would be like sad but funny just to see my cat like flying through the neighborhood with an eagle's grip.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, my daughter sometimes will take the guinea pigs outside so they can eat in the grass, and I'll see the falcon. We have falcons. Like, I legit saw a falcon hanging out on my fence one day.
Shit, I saw a
so
bird.
they're known in their neighborhood. They'll snatch one of those.
I saw a bird attack another bird last Friday. I was like merging from 480 to 71 to go down to Columbus for the festival I went to. There was like a big bird in the sky that tried to like just beak a little bird that was in front. Like I saw it fly up on it and just like bite at it.
Oh, so they want me to stop hunting birds, but what about bird-on-bird violence?
It's States Raging Milk episode.
What about Chicago?
It's States Raging Milk episode 299. Welcome to it.
Happy
the road to 300 continues unabated.
Happy 300 Eve, everybody.
The way I feel this is going to go is we're going to get to 299 and the next one's going to be 301. And everyone's going to be like, what the fuck happened to 300? And we'll have to be like, we all couldn't figure out a time where we could all be in the same fucking room at the same fucking time.
Well, yeah, it's 299 and we're still working on it.
And there, no one is lying here or wrong, but it's all good. I'm joined by the Lunchbox 2099. You hear my man, the real ODP over here.
Yes.
Tatum 216 had to dip out. He had to go take care of some family business.
Oh.
But we in the building. Good family business. Nothing bad.
All right, good family business.
If he were here, I'm sure he would say it. Something about pre-daycare or, pre-kindergarten or some shit.
His kid's doing his Head Start testing. And see where he fits in the strata when he goes to school or preschool here in the next few months.
My guess is during the test he'll start a revolution.
No.
Was that an episode of New Girl?
Spud a little too laid back. Eat, Pray, Thug. Yes, he would. So that's how that goes down. But we here, 200 Public Square. It's earlier than we normally record, so it is popping in this bitch today.
Yeah, I had to park so close to the car behind me, I'm touching it. I hope they don't have to leave before I do. I think they could back up and like get on the curb, and on the sidewalk a bit, and just cut the wheel really hard, and be able to get out from behind me. There's no reason for them to like take it out of my car by keying it or anything like that.
Is that a real concern?
I mean, I'm not very vain about my car. I'd rather than not have a deep key scratch in it.
Situation, I get that. Or have it hit by,
Because just like the pets, I'm like, I don't need to spend my money on that shit.
Sounds like in this situation, though, you earned one. If you're admittedly touching the other car.
He or she could have backed up far. They could have backed up far enough to let me in.
But who knows?
Were they already there?
Who knows?
They were already there, yes.
Who knows what was in front of them to prevent them from parking like they could have parked?
As far as I know, empty space, because that's where my car is now.
There you go. I love parking. I love whipping the little whips because I can just be like, I can fit that bitch in there.
I miss my backup camera.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't have happened if I had my backup camera. So
you can get one installed. I mean, I realize you don't want to spend no money, but
no,
just saying.
No, you save the money if you get it in the future.
I got injured pets and kids.
It's all good. It's
kids injuring pets, pets injuring kids.
Violence on violence, Rex. But we out here kicking it. Love you guys. It's all good. I'm in my zone. I'm in a good place today. Work is popping, or not really, but it pops like it would in the summertime.
Do you have a story to lift our spirits?
If I had to look into this right now, I'm simply gonna be like, unlike what I'm going to think is a loud minority, because let me tell you something, 19.5 million people watch Game of Thrones, but I only see like about X amount of people saying how bad it was. I'm not saying it was the greatest ending in television history. I'm just saying I was okay with it.
So I'm like me and my wife are halfway through season 2, episode 1.
Yeah.
So keep on going, don't give up.
I like it. Also, I cannot wait to have for you to come to us and bring us your wife's reactions to certain episodes and stuff like that. There.
She's shielded her eyes like during the horse violence, but like
It's good to know that people can just get murked the fuck out because who cares?
she winces at that too because it's gross, but she actually doesn't feel for those characters like she feels for the horses. Like, oh, that poor
she
horse.
is such a white woman.
I did marry a white woman, yes.
So, I want you to keep going because, like I said, I enjoyed the experience. I watched every one of those episodes and I dug it. So I'm not like, fuck that show. You played me this last season was the
I
worst.
was really hoping that I could champion this last season.
Yeah.
Because we looked forward to this for a year and a half, and I'm not trying to poo-poo it like it was the worst thing ever because it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it had its flaws.
That's the point. That's all I'm ever saying. Yes, it was flawed, but it's not. People are making it out to be this is as bad as Donald Trump being elected president. That's what the world is trying to make it out to be, and it's just not that
I don't know,
bad.
half the people thought that was okay.
If you did the math, it's not half the people thought that was okay. But we ain't gonna get into that either.
Well, I mean, I know, but people didn't vote, but they would have voted for him.
So I just, it's just not that bad. It's just not that dramatic a thing. It's a fine ending.
Okay.
A fine last season. Truly, I wish I could have had 4 more episodes because I really wish they could have did 8 seasons of 10 episodes each. I wish I could have got a clean 80. We didn't. Such is life.
I decided not to avoid spoilers because it seems like it would be too hard, and I'm going to test that theory. Like, do spoilers affect your enjoyment of a show?
Let's watch this. At the pace you're currently watching this show, by the time you get to here, quite literally, possibly, it's going to be years from now. It just is.
Possible. I got kids.
Yeah. And
I stop saying that.
You got no, but that's the point. Kids have involved as lives. Lily had 2 shows last Saturday. I had to go take care of. She had a recital and an actual the performance at what you call it. Kids is busy as fuck. Keep you busy as fuck. It is what it is, man. And you got 4 of them. I only got 2, and they keep me pretty busy. So I mean, it goes down, bro. So yes, you have kids is a valid answer to like, yeah, bro, I can't watch everything.
As someone who doesn't have kids, I feel like if I had kids, all the shit that like I do in like quote unquote I guess free time, that should be gone.
Yeah.
So
like I accept that. Like
naps. You can say goodbye to naps.
I'm not a napper.
I only nap like on like Saturdays, and that's like not even every Saturday.
Yeah.
I wasn't a napper either before I had kids, and then once in a while I want to say, God,
you need a nap.
I would like a nap.
Well, you have a ittle bitty baby still, you know what I'm saying? So she probably wakes up at night still, right?
She woke up last night.
Yeah. So and then my man, I don't know what his nickname is on the show.
You say Zoe.
I do, but I didn't know if that was too much. I know what his nickname is for me, but I know if you want me to share that in the streets. So, but my man, so he also seems like he's not quite ready to be like, I'm always in bed. So I'm saying, so
it was breaking my little heart. I mean, not my little heart. Little guy was like, wanted me to lay down with him last night in bed because it's so scary. I'm like, I can't.
What had him?
Because I'll fall asleep.
What had him fearful?
At 8:30. What? I don't know.
Oh.
To be honest with you, I don't understand what kids are afraid of. Well, if they're actually afraid, they're just trying to manipulate me.
Well, could you maybe just sit next to the bed for a little bit?
I was putting the baby down, so I was outside the room.
Yeah.
Because she's got to go through this whole process where I throw her on my shoulder, chest to chest, head on my shoulder. I have to walk around until she lets me sit down. Got to rock a little bit until she lets me lay her down. If any step in the process, if I put her down too soon, she wakes back up and we got to start all over again.
I never want babies again. I don't want to hang out with too many babies. I can't even imagine doing it. I can't, man.
And she's got a little rash on her butt right now, so we're trying to let her air out. So last night I was cleaning up a lot of poop and pee, just like letting her air out, but she just.
So that's what I've been going through lately.
Just
letting it air out?
Having to clean it out constantly.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going around your house, bottomless, pooping and peeing on the floor.
Winnie the Pooh in it?
No.
She was wearing a shirt. She was Winnie the Pooh in it.
Hey, man. Is she old enough for honey yet? How old you got to be before you get to it?
You think with 4 kids I'd know, but I defer to my wife on a lot of these things.
It's the smarter play. Let's think about it, man. She went to school for food and shit like that there, so she has like whatever. So
yeah.
She knows. It's a smart play. I'm not saying that she's like, all dads always let them defer to their wives. No, she literally is educated in this matter. Yes, defer to her about that shit.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Why do I have to use space in my my very limited memory to remember things, but I can just turn to you and say, hey, how's this work?
It's pretty much the best part about relationships, man. It's like we got a tag team this month. Come on. So it's what's been going on. What's been going on with you?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Just exhausted lately. I did not get any sleep the last 2 nights because my daughter's miserable. It's either the rash or teething or both. She does not want to sleep through the night. So it's been pretty rough. I don't know. I wish I had a funny story to tell. Like I gotta say thank you to Alex, if you're listening, for the positive feedback. She said my stories about my kids, maybe because she knows them, she's tickled by them very much. So,
thanks for listening, Alex.
I was hoping that you were talking about Trebek.
Oh,
I wanted our
Alex
reach to get that far.
Who do you think's the most famous person that listens to our podcast? Somebody at Oreo.
I hope so. I hope somebody, but they're not really. Are they famous person?
I mean, they stole me and Tatum's ideas.
Isn't that like such an ingenious way though to run a company? Just run like a nationwide campaign where people like submit you ideas, and like you have to give like one person all that, but then you still own all those other fucking ideas.
That's true. It's like we send you back a rejection letter. Your idea wasn't good enough to win this contest. It's good enough, however, for us to in a couple months to release that cookie. What do I win for that? Nothing.
Once you send it in to us, you see the fine print becomes the property of
Nabisco Corp or some shit
whatever.
Like that.
Yeah.
So we'll never talk about that. I was up. I have been up the past 2 nights. I actually tried to go to bed early yesterday. And just, I don't know. I got a bad night's sleep. The night before, I was playing a game. That's on me. Sorry. Sorry. Rage 2 is kind of good. I'm enjoying it. And so it kept me up a little later than I should have been. It's on your boy. Not the rest of the way. Last night, I don't know. I attempted. I went to bed. I got in bed at like 10:30 and didn't fall asleep till like 11. And when I woke this morning, I was like, "This is chaos. My head hurt and everything about this is fucked up." But that's what it is to be. Or we're aging, and we're aging. Is what it is, right?
I feel old though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you cracked big numbers this year, don't you?
Yes, it's this year I turned 40.
Yeah, so
damn.
I know. Supposedly, there's some sort of switch that goes on that makes me not give a fuck about anything anymore.
Bro, I've enjoyed it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because although there's some things I don't give a fuck about, there's a few things I still give a fuck about.
It's very relaxing. How's your return to these Twitter streets, man?
I noticed that I am down shit, at least a dozen followers. What happened? People just abandoned me while I was in jail?
While you was out? While you was locked up?
Yeah. Treating me like RZA treated ODB while he was locked up.
They oftentimes do bot purges. They'll go through and just clear out the bots. So you might just lost some bullshit and not real followers.
Okay.
Anyway. So don't trip off.
I got welcomed back by a few people. I shared my the insult that might have done me in with Nick Jew, and her reaction was, "Oh, period, my period, stars, period."
It is her birthday today, even though by the time this comes out, it will have passed. Happy birthday to you, Nick.
Yes.
I hope it's a hell of, well, I know you celebrate over the weekend, but I hope in general today you get some cake.
I hope you hear this and remember how good your birthday was.
Hell yeah. Respect that. There you go. That's why we hang out with this dude. Look at the big brain on Brad here. So, it's all good. You traveled down to Columbus last week. Finally got to see a band you've been dreaming to see.
Yeah, how was it?
What was that like?
So, I woke up at about 9 in the morning, showered, then I did dishes, cleaned a litter box, took out trash, swept the kitchen. Then the guy I was going with came over around like 11:30, and And then we went and tried to go to Dick's to see if we could find a clear bag, because you need a clear bag now to enter festivals and concerts and shit.
I have one. Hey, I wish I had known. You could have used mine.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even really care because I was rocking the Parma Special, the cargo shorts, and I wasn't really planning on bringing a bunch of shit with me.
Yeah.
So I didn't care about the bag. It was the other guy who kept bringing the bag up. But we didn't find one there because they only have them on their website.
What was he carrying in that he needed the bag?
Ended up didn't even need the bag. He just carried So I'll get to that.
Okay.
So we ended up going to Chipotle to grab food because I hadn't eaten nothing yet, and at that point it was already like 12 something. So we got some food. Then I stopped and I filled up my gas tank. Then we hit the road, and that's when I saw the bird get attacked. And so we drove all the way down to I think it was like Westerville, Ohio, or something like that. I stopped at Walmart so I could pee and get like a snack, and I realized I forgot to bring sunscreen with me, so I bought some sunscreen, which is I'm gonna leave in my car. Didn't even open it though, because we went down to like the outlet malls that I went to a couple weeks ago with T, just because I like to check to see if there's anything new on the clearance rack at the Converse store when I'm in the area. So, like these ones I'm wearing right now, I got for like $20, but they're already falling apart. Like I noticed today, the heel on them's already breaking apart from the bottom. But that's the thing, like I got them off the clearance rack, $20, get a couple months out of them, that's fine with me.
Yeah, it's payless prices at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So I did buy a pair of Converse. They were gray and white. They were like $25. And then I bought some birthday gifts for people at the Hot Topic store there. And then we left there and we stopped at the Polaris place, which is like a giant office mall area, like right as you get into Columbus. And we ended up going to it was a BJ's restaurant or something like that. And I got like some Brussels sprouts that were coated in some like sort of sriracha sauce, and then I ordered a tri-tip toss like salad wedge thing. It was okay. Like I wasn't really all that hungry. I ate I ate all the expensive steak meat, but I left like behind a lot of the lettuce and the accoutrements. Then we finally got in the car and hit the road to the concert, because at this point it was already like 6 o'clock. The concert started at like noon. It was like an all-day festival. But like the first band that I actually knew was going on at like 7, so I didn't give a shit when I got there between noon and 7. So as long as I got there at 7 to see the 2 bands that I knew, the one that I specifically came to see, which was the closing act that day, that's all I cared about. So plus it was like hot as balls down there, and it was raining throughout the afternoon, like really bad. So I didn't really feel like standing out in the rain to see some band that I've never heard of before. So we ended up parking on I parked in a shady neighborhood on a side street by a Shell station. That way I could avoid paying like exorbitant amount of pricing at the parking lot by the arena. And it was only like a 15-minute walk from my car to the arena, so it wasn't that bad. We got to the arena about 6:45, and we go in, and like the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine's playing on one of the offshoot stages. So I caught the last couple minutes of him playing like acoustic Rage stuff. And at this time, the guy I'm with has to run to the bathroom because he like seems to have like no ability to hold food in his body when it comes from Chipotle.
Oh,
so he's in the bathroom for like 15 minutes shitting his brains out while I'm just standing there with like barely any cell reception. He finally comes out, and then we walk up like this like winding ramp, kind of like we have at the Indian Stadium, where it's like the walk ramp up and down. So we take that and we go up, and because we have general admission wristbands, so we can basically just stand or sit wherever we can find a spot. So we go and we sit in the bleachers, and then a couple minutes later, the first band I knew, Hailstorm, was just coming on. So we watched them perform. Then they broke the stage down for them, and they built it back up for the next. Because at this point, like it's the main stage, there was only like 4 bands still to play. 3 of them were on the main stage, and one was on like another stage somewhere. And I wasn't about to get up and go, like leave my seats that I've now gotten to go see a band that I've never heard of. So we stayed at the main, like in the bleachers by the main stage, watched Hailstorm. Then this band called Ghost came on, and they were supposed to be on for about an hour. he knew who the guy was with me, who they were, and like my sister and her fiance and a couple other people knew who they were. I think I heard one of their songs on the radio once, but like their music was fine. Like they came out and the lead singer was dressed up like a zombie or something. Like he had like white and face paint with like black eyelids and shit like that. And then like the rest of the band was in like masks that looked kind of like the Night King from Game of Thrones. I guess they're from like Sweden or something.
Seems like all we all saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So they played like some sort of like goth metal music, and that went on for about an hour. And then they ended at about 9:30ish, 9:40, and the roadies came out to like break the stage down from them because the next band that was coming up was a band I went to go see, SystemOfADown. They were supposed to go on at 10:10. So when the Ghost band finished, it started raining. So, like I was getting wet, like sitting in the bleachers. But at this point, I'm like, I'm not fucking moving. I didn't have a coat with me or anything either because it was like 80 then.
Was it a cold?
It was cold water.
Oh.
And it was, we were up in the bleachers and it was windy, so I was getting hit with cold winds and cold water for about a half hour. But I'm like, fuck it. I've wanted to see this band since high school, since like at least 18 years. I've driven all this way. I am not moving. So thankfully, the rain kind of let up about 5 minutes before they went on. But they ended up going on at like 10:20, so they went on 10 minutes late. They get to the third song of their set. A roadie comes running out to say something to the guitarist. Then he informs us that they have to reboot the sound system because it's not working properly. Because I guess like half the speakers weren't working down there.
They get wet or something?
Huh?
They get wet or something?
I don't know. So the band leaves the stage and for about 10 minutes. And they shut the whole thing down. It might have been 15. I don't know. But they were supposed to be done with their set at like 11:20. And they ended up finishing at about midnight. So, yeah, because they started late and then they had the delay. So, yeah, it was almost midnight by the time they wrapped it up. So then I've been holding my pee all this time, too, because I'm like, I don't know when they're coming back out. I don't want to get up, have to find a bathroom, and then fight people to get my seat back. I'm like, I will just camel bladder this shit. I am not moving. So I held my pee for about 2.5 hours. And finally, when it was over, I went to the bathroom, relieved myself, and then on the way out, like all the food booths and stuff, which I didn't know they had because like I didn't want to explore when I got there because we got there like a few minutes before the first band that I wanted to see was coming on. So like
you didn't have a lot of time though.
Yeah. It was like I assume he probably would have wanted to explore because that's generally like what he wants to do, but I didn't have any interest in that this time. It's like I'm here to see these two things. This one thing's about to start. Like he could have left and went and found like looked around by himself. Like that wouldn't bother me. But when we went down, like all the vendors, like the food vendors and stuff were closed up, and there was like an art tent where they had like some people in there selling like their drawings and shit. So we went in there and they like some of them were still open. They were getting ready to pack up, and I ended up getting something for someone.
Oh, you want some art?
Not for me.
Oh, okay.
It'll be a gift given to someone in the coming weeks.
Okay.
But then, yeah, we ended up walking back to the car, and then I drove to a Waffle House, which was a couple exits up from where we were, and go inside the Waffle House, and we're just standing there, because it's busy, because all the people from the concert are staying at the motel behind there. So, like, they had seats open, but, like, they had, like, one waitress for the whole place, and then, like, 4 cooks. So I'm just like looking around and I'm looking at the effort that the cooks are giving and everything right now, and I'm just like looking around at how like the waitress is like barely doing anything and how packed it is, and I'm just like, this is not going to go well. Let's just get the fuck out of here. So we left. I go to pull out of the parking lot, not realizing that it's a one-way road and there's an island in front of me because I can't see. There was no sign. There's barely any streetlights. So I almost run into a median. And then I turn left against oncoming traffic.
Oh.
And then wait for the cars to pass me, and then finish the UE so that I could turn into a complex and come back to the freeway. So thankfully I didn't die or hurt anybody.
That's good.
And I get on the freeway, and I ended up stopping in like Mansfield at like a Pilot Flying J that had an Arby's. So I got some Arby's at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 time.
Look at your face.
And we're sitting there, and I look over and I'm looking at this guy with his girlfriend. I'm like, I think I know that dude. I'm like, oh, holy shit. there's this guy who owns a card shop out in Streetsboro, and he was there with his girlfriend. And like, I hadn't seen this dude because I haven't played Magic the Gathering in like 5 years now. He has like a long ass goatee now, like super long, like a foot down off his chin. Which I was just kind of like, hey man, we all have our choices to make. But anyway, so he comes over and we end up talking to him for like 40 minutes. And so by the time I hit the road again, it's like damn near 2:30 in the morning.
Did you take the next day off?
Oh, this was Friday night. So
Okay.
yeah.
Shit.
So it might even have been later than 2:30 by the time we hit the road again. But so we left there, and I drove all the way back to my house, and I got home around 4. But I got home at 4, and I couldn't go right to bed because at this point I'd used the bathroom. So by the time I finished up with the bathroom and got to bed, it was about 4:30 in the morning.
No, Arby's will do that to you.
Yeah. Well, I power washed that porcelain. So yeah, that was my concert experience. The band, it was they were good, and it was interesting to me because the lead singer does some like weird squeals and voices and stuff, and then some of their songs. And it was interesting to see him do it live. But it's funny because like they're in their like 40s now, like their early 40s, they're around your guys' age. And
Well, I'm not 40 yet.
I said around your age, not your exact age. So, but they're all Armenian. So it's like the lead singer, like he's got like gray hair. He's got salt and pepper hair now and everything. And
Right.
he's not. They don't. Like, he doesn't dress up like a rock star. He was out there in like dad jeans and like it looked like a shirt that you get like off the Walmart rack, just like just a plain shirt, some sneakers. Like he wasn't like full on rock starred out or whatever, So he's like. One song he's singing, and then he starts doing this dance, and he looks like he's dancing like fucking Mr. Bean. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is not what I expected.
Well, you weren't disappointed, were you?
No, but I'm just like, they're clearly like, they're not in that like goth metal rock age anymore like they were like when I first saw them in the early 2000s when they had like the guitarist back then had like black eyeliner on and he had like a fucking braided goatee and shit.
No.
Now he's got like the long hair with the artsy hat and like the printed tee and the jeans and just more like
What is an artsy hat? You have to.
all right, like a bucket hat. Like a fucking bucket hat with a big brim.
Oh, okay.
It's an artsy hat.
Yeah.
These people are basically fathers now. They're parents now. I don't know if they honestly are, but they're fatherly in their age and their approach. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, they're in their 40s. They're not like.
And they probably I don't know if they tour widely, or are they just a festival act now? They do festivals.
They're doing this festival. I know they're going to be in Chicago this weekend with this festival. They have done like big venues and stuff, but they don't do like nationwide touring anymore. Like they haven't put out a new album in like I don't know, like 14 years at this point.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a festival act at this point.
Well, the thing about it is like the band, 3 of the 4 members want to do new material, but the lead singer is like the odd man out, and he doesn't want to do any more new
What's
new
his
material.
reasoning?
Creative. Well, so from what I would listen to in an interview on the way down there, because the guitarist was on Chris Jericho's podcast this week, he said basically they have a difference in opinions on the creative process, so it's creative differences.
Oh, okay.
He said, but he said he has no animosity towards him because he named him like he called him out like by name. He said like everyone else like wants to do new material and that he actually has a whole album ready to go, but the other guy doesn't want to record new music and he's just cool with just doing their normal act. Yeah. So like the one guy's like, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Like he's like, I love him still. He's like a brother. Like the holidays, all that. We do the tour and everything. But he's like, I still want to do new music. So he has an offshoot band, Scars on Broadway. They were actually supposed to perform at the festival on Sunday, but they had to cancel because of the festival shut down because of the wind.
Oh, so it would have been pulling double duty then, right?
He would have been, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds exhausting.
And that's exactly what it is. The one guy's like, man, look, if I got to write a new album, that means I got to write a new album, that means I got to tour a new album, that means I got to go do the whole
Got to promote it.
promotion tour, all that good shit. I don't blame him, man. Sometimes it's just like,
Well, and like he talked about how like the dude never got into it to be a rock star.
Yeah.
At this point, he's like he's more of an activist.
Yeah.
So like doing new music and all that's not really like something he's interested in.
so I'm with it, man. I've been watching this Wu-Tang documentary. We're going to wrap this up here. Called Wu-Tang of Mics and Men. And they're basically going through their history, how they came up as a band and so forth. We're going to go see them in a couple of weeks here.
Yes. I might take the day off after that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I didn't think about it, but whatever. They got a pretty early start time. Let's assume. Look, if they're unlike Ghostface Killer, who always starts late, and start on time, we'll be fine.
What they might be waiting around from.
True indeed.
I mean, he's...
But these guys have been at this for like 25, 26 years now, so I also would like to see... I've seen the Jizzle, and like the Jizzle, he always dressed kind of normal. None of them ever dressed like real, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to see them all, because it's supposed to be all of them with the exception of Old Dirty, you know.
Well, I mean, like, I compared...
Kappa 2?
Like I said, the band that went on before that.
He's in the documentary.
The lead singer was dressed like a zombie, and all the band members were like in like full like suits.
Regalia.
Yeah. And then they come out, and the dude's just like, I was in my trailer an hour and a half ago. Here's my dad clothes.
Yeah. So we can compare notes after that show goes down here. I'm excited.
Yeah, they're kind of in the same position. They're in their 40s and everything.
Yep. And like I said, been at it for a long time and are now grown ups. The vast majority of them have children and so forth.
Or seeds, if you will.
Actually, they probably would. So I kind of understand. I get the perspective is all that it comes down to, man. So we out here. Our next episode should be episode 300. Will it be?
Good luck with that. Our next episode coming out is going to be 301. I fucking know it. We'll get to 300 at some point.
Oh, we could do 299B.
I like I said like 2 weeks ago, it's going to end up being 299.1, 299.2, all the way until we eventually get to 300.
Look, if you want to come over
299 and 3/4
to my house and help my wife watch the 4 kids so I have more time to hit the road and record an awesome episode, you're welcome to do so. You might have to go through a background check. I'm just inviting the whole internet out to my... Imagine my wife opening the door.
Like, all right, where do you live?
Imagine my wife opening the door. Just some random dude like, yeah, I'm here to help watch the kids.
I really enjoy the content.
I want to see if he's making some of this shit up. Are you the one that calls people assholes? He stopped calling me an asshole, but he called the wind an asshole the other day.
The wind was kind of popping the other day as it went from hot to cold in real short order. That is tornado weather. He right. That wind is an asshole.
He's like, you asshole.
Oh, did he get out there like that? Like,
yeah, he's out the
full Dennis Leary.
He's out in the back. He's out in the back of the mud room.
Yeah.
Standing at the doorway, yelling asshole to the sky. And I'm like,
I like it in him, man.
No DNA test necessary. And I'm like, I thought we were gonna stop using that word. He's like, but I hate the wind. And I'm like, all right, well, a salient point, son.
Argument.
That's Lunchbox 2099. That's the real ODP.
I need to get my followers back up, please.
Our missing man is Tatum 216. I am the Understatement 713. You've just been podcasting. I know you loved it. Peace.